Hi, it's Brittany from the Empurrium. Welcome back to my channel. Today's another day of the 13 Days of Halloween video series, and we're making this cute little fabric pumpkin. It's really cute. So this is another quick and easy project. You don't even have to have a sewing machine to make it. You could hand sew it. So cute. So I just used some cotton woven fabric, some polyfill, some thread, hot glue, and a twig I got out of my own yard. It was really easy. There are tons of free tutorials for these all over the internet, like Pinterest, YouTube, and other places. I'll link the one that I used, and if you want to follow her directions instead, that's fine too, I guess. If you haven't already checked out the other videos in the 13 Days of Halloween series, I would love if you did. And if you haven't subscribed already, I would absolutely love if you did that too. But let's sew it. We're at the 8700 again. I feel like we're getting very comfortable with it. I've used it a lot, but yeah. Okay, so I've gathered some materials. I have a 7 by 14 inch rectangle. I'm going to make the medium size. And I also cut this at an angle. The tutorial I looked up, you could make a pattern piece and it told you where to make lines. So it was like perfect on the bias at a certain angle. I just angled my ruler. But I think you can kind of tell, like, from the back, the bias. But the reason you're doing that is to create some stretch in this direction. So I've got that. Found some random twigs outside. I've got my glue gun heating up. Love this Ryobi. I grabbed my hemostats. I'm gonna use them in place of like pliers. A hand sewing needle. Grabbed the longest ones I have. And then, please ignore my neighbors. Instead of using embroidery floss, because I don't have any, I'm just going to use my candy corn sewing string, and I'm going to do like 2 layers of it. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be cute. So let's go. Oh, and I've got a giant bag of polyfill ready to go. Okay, so you're going to take your rectangle, you're going to fold the short ends together, right sides together, and we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch here. And you're going to make sure you backstitch start and stop. Okay. Here you are supposed to press open your seam. I'm not going to heat up the iron just for that. But you absolutely can. I'm just going to finger press here. Look at that. Can't even tell I didn't use an iron, right? Alright. In the tutorial I looked up, you do a gather stitch on one end, which should be your bottom. I don't really have a top and bottom. My print does not matter. And then she has you stuff, and then after that do the gather stitch on the other side, but she says it could be difficult at that point. So I'm going to gather both ends. I'm going to do the stitches for both sides, and then once we stuff it, it'll already have the stitches in at the top, so it should be easier to do. So what you're going to do is, I'm not going to start on the seam, I'm going to start right before it, but we're going to leave some long thread tails, and we're going to crank our stitch length up. And your first, and you're not back stitching, your first stitch is going to be at 1/4 of an inch, so you're just stitching all the way around. This neighbor was not revving up and down the road until I started recording. Alright, and then once you get back to the start, long thread tail again. It's already trying to gather a little on me. Okay, now you're going to do a second row of stitches 3/8 of an inch from the edge, and if you can stagger them from your other stitches, that is going to be better. So we've got the long tails, and then we're going, I go right in the middle of my last stitch. In this tutorial it says too, if you don't have a sewing machine, you could do this by hand, and you absolutely could. So even if you do have a sewing machine and like say you were going somewhere, you want to kill time or something, you could hand stitch some of these. Like, it's not a bad idea. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. I wasn't the most careful on my second stitch, but doesn't matter. Like, I didn't stick with the seam allowance as much. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat all of that here on the other side. I'm just gonna make it easier, and I'm already at the machine sewing right here. Not that I'm gonna leave it, but long tail, 3/8 for the second one. Oh goodness. Try to stagger them if you can. I didn't even have the same like matching thread on top and bottom. It didn't matter. So from here, if you have a top and a bottom, you want to do the bottom. I don't know that it truly matters which is which, but you're going to, oh boy, hang on here. I went one stitch too far. All right, you're going to gather your fabric by gently tugging on the threads. I'm also using a stronger thread, so I don't really have to worry about my threads snapping personally. But you don't want to pull the thread out from the seam. So you're just going to carefully make sure you're gathering. Slightly, like there's 8 different threads, so I'm like, oh, which is which? I think I found this one. Okay, if you heard that, I know I said my threads wouldn't snap, but I had sewed through the one on accident. So see how that's gathering there? Just want to make sure. Everything is all gathered up. And then you can tie these. It's kind of funky, there's just a lot. I'm just knotting them together so nothing comes apart. And then I'll trim them down some. Just make sure those go right in the trash can. Okay, you're going to flip it right side out. Don't really think I gathered quite enough. Yeah, this isn't in the tutorial, but this is where we're adapting. I'm gonna go ahead and glue right here. That is really hot. I don't think it normally heats up that much. Oh, I know what it is. I haven't used that glue gun for a while, but I let people borrow it, and I think they used a different kind of glue. Okay, I'm just gonna hold this while it cools down. Donut brought a squishmallow, but I can't reach it. He's letting me know what kind of glue that was. It's like smoking. Weird. Wonder if it was like low temp glue and it's a high temp glue gun. Interesting. Man, that's the bottom of the pumpkin. I'm not super worried about it. Grab a wad of this polyfill. Alright, maybe I can gather better on the top of it. Alright. Oh, that glue. What in the world? It's like it's not drying as fast as normal glue. Maybe I'll end up making that the top, because we'll just glue the stem in. Oh, Donut might be coming to say hi. Alright, so you're just gonna stuff until it feels right, I guess. Donut, you come and say hi. Come here. Don't hit the camera. Oh, good boy. Leave the glue gun alone. Oh, bud. Leave it alone. Okay. So we're going to gather... What is it? We're going to gather this end then. See. It's just not pretty. We'll make it pretty. I'm all about adapting. Okay. I probably should have waited until I sewed it all together too, but... What do I know? Okay. So I'm going to try really hard just to gather one end this time. I think that was my problem. Okay. So I'm just grabbing... Yes. Much better. Grabbing these 2 threads on that side. And then I'll grab the 2 ends on this side. So much better. Look at that. Okay, this will be our bottom. It's way easier than I made it out to be the first time. Okay, now I'm going to take just these and tie them together. It's much better. I just got my threads like in a mess on the other side, and that was that. It is what it is. Okay. So I'm going to trim these a little bit. And I'm going to shove that all into there as best I can. Let me see. Use my twig. I hope you can't hear the revving as much as I can. Like that would really make me happy, but you know. Okay. Okay. So this is where we're at. Like I said, I'm going to use this. It's called sewing string. It's thread. Okay. And then I'm just gonna do, like, I'm gonna double it up. I don't know how much I need. Okay. But this is where we're making our, like, segments for the pumpkin. So, you're gonna take and start your thread and knot it off. Okay. I think it'd be cute if you cut like little leaves out of green felt too, or like made like a little vine or something. It's really cute. Okay, so from here we have the thread right here. I'm gonna go up through the pumpkin to start. Oh, it said you might need, it might be hard to do. I guess that wasn't bad. Okay, and then I'm gonna find my seam and I'm gonna go to that first. I must say though, I put that hot glue, and so that's making things harder for me. But if you need to use like pliers or like the hemostats, work well. Okay, so this is making like your little gathers in your pumpkin. So I'm just gonna go to the other side opposite of that. And I have acrylic nails, so I'm just using them to push. Okay, so you want to like line it up. And it's up to you how many segments you want to make. Just gonna come over here. I think you could knot it off after each one too, if you wanted. I'm not going to. I think I'm gonna try for 6 segments. So going here now. So I did one side and then I did the opposite, and then I started this side and I'm going opposite of it. And then I'll just finish the last one like the same way. Okay, so we're gonna go in the middle of what's left. And then the middle of the last one. I think 6 is a good number. That glue really did myself in on that one. Just try not to poke yourself. Okay. And then once you have all the sections you want to make and it looks good, you need to knot off your thread. just gonna take the thread in here and then do my little knot. All right. Get my needle back. So this is where we're at. It's cute. All right, now I need to glue my twig. In the tutorial, they take a piece of brown felt and they cut a rectangle and then they like roll it up. I've seen people use cinnamon sticks, and then obviously I decided to use a twig. So I've got these two, but I think I like this one. I need to snap it down a little bit more. Oh, pinch myself. Alright. I was thinking if I could squeeze it right into the hole there, but I don't think I can. Okay. I'm just gonna make sure everything is poked down in there. And then I'll put some smoking hot glue in. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the glue gun off. And then I'm going to stick the stick on there. Get it to dry eventually. I tell you, this glue's wild. I'll have to ask what they used. And there you go. Got a little fabric pumpkin. Took me 20 minutes to make. I probably could have made it quicker. But I hope you enjoy. We bought one of these from a friend a couple years ago, and it was so cute. Maybe she made the large. I don't know. I kind of expected the medium to be bigger. I can't imagine the small must be so tiny. I know in the pattern is they said that the small might be harder to sew on the machine too, so you might just want to hand sew those. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you check out the rest of the 13 Days of Halloween, and have a great day.